Okay, gonna do a quick video. My mic is a little bit off today, but looking at the S&P 500, we see that it's definitely coming back to this previous point of resistance that broke out, and now we're gonna see if it becomes support. Huge day today to the downside, so we really have to see what's gonna happen from here. Are we gonna bounce off this area, or are we gonna bounce, dead cat bounce on lighter volume and then continue and get a lower high to then go down further? If we look at the big picture, you could definitely see from the weekly we're still still above the 10, and this is not a closed candle yet. So we kind of have to see, and we want to see if it can break above for the S&P 500. We want to see it get above that 1850 level. Now if we kind of go into more of the smaller time frames, we can really see, let's go down to here, let's see what we have going on. You can see that it's, again, it's just become this resistance point that when it broke out above, but we have to see if it can, recapture. I mean, you do have a hammer off the area, but I wouldn't, again, this is a doji or hammer price action, but that's just off for 30 minutes. So we really have to see what those larger time frames are telling us. But you can see how this is broken down to a lower time frame to see what that support is, and this is the 30-minute. Let's get back. Let's look at the Dow Jones. Dow Jones, again, you could see that rising, some would say it's a channel, some would say that this is actually rising wedge to be breaking down, but this is just a daily, and it's below the 10 and followed through, continues to the downside. Let's see if this level will hold the 16,184 and kind of just go from there. If we look again at the weekly, you can see that it's not even below the 10, so this is just a retracement to continue to the upside. Who knows? But you can see that you do have that rising wedge, and I would be more concerned if it broke around this 15.8 level. But right now it's just a retracement right here right now. So if we continue with some heavy volume to the downside, we could definitely see that that could change very quickly. The Russell, the weekly, is just in the middle of the channel, so it's still in the middle of the channel. I don't see this as being bearish because it's simple as it goes. You got lower left to upper right. That's a bullish trend. So we just have to see if this is going to be a breakdown, or is this going to be another one of those squeezes that's pretty much going to happen when they squeeze them out here, squeeze them out here, squeeze them out definitely here. Because remember, this candle was full red at one point, so there might have been somebody that didn't want to wait. And it all depends on what time frame you're looking at, but you still want to look at these higher time frames to kind of give you some perspective of what these retracements are actually are. Are they retracements, or are you seeing some real significant selling? So we'll see how it goes. And there was a lot of stuff that didn't follow through today. There were a couple of names that did follow through, so we'll kind of just take it from there. Let's look at the QQQ. And again, let me just do the composite. Stop being lazy. The composite again is moving there. That pretty much is just the up channel, and it's pretty much testing the bottom of the channel now. So we have to see if this is going to at least get above that 4182 level and continue to the upside if it breaks above there. So we do have the sideways consolidation. The sideways consolidation is very hard to trade. So it's, some people call it the wedge, some people call it consolidation channel, some people just say sideways at the end of the day. So you can see that it was really just trading sideways for the last 3 weeks. And if it's going to break down, let's see if it's going to break down or where it's going. Remember, this candle is very, very young. This is a weekly candle. A weekly candle, on Monday doesn't mean much. We just have to see where it closes on Friday. But let's look at a couple of the strong names and see where we go from there. So with Apple, you see that Apple to me looks weak, still looks weak. If it breaks down below here, I mean, yes, this is a level of support that maybe it will catch, but if it breaks below that, you still have, you're under the 10, and it needs to get above that 10. It needs actually to get, to me, to really start looking good. It needs to get at least above that 570 level at least right here, that, yeah, 560, 570 level, because right here, right now, is this just a dead cat bounce to go down further? We shall see. So, you know, this sideways, this was hard to trade. But you know, again, we have to see how this thing works out. But right here, right now, they might have, it's below the 50, below the 10, and the 200 is all the way down here. So if it breaks these levels, which you can see, this level actually was resistance that broke above, tapped above it, and then continued to the upside. We'll see how that goes. Google looked like it tried to get pretty much everybody except for this last candle to go, and might continue to the downside. Who knows? But we just wanted to see if it recapture these 1147 area before we start, you know, either going long or short. But right here, right now, it's again, this is the weekly. What is that really telling you? It doesn't really look that bad, does it? So remember to keep these things in perspective. Facebook is now below the 10. You have a lower, you have this resistance level. I think if it gets above 60, it's back to running. And I was actually looking to see if this was going to continue to the upside, but it didn't. So, you know, you just have to really keep that stuff in mind. You had another one that I was looking at. I was looking at Yelp. That one actually faded. I didn't get triggered on that. I was looking at Jazz, got triggered on that one. That was a good trade. Also, what else was I looking at? Let me look at my notes real quick. And yes, I do keep notes because it is very, very important to keep some type of trading journal to see what's going on. You had St. Jude. That one paid well, but as far as, you know, right here, right now, it looked like it could continue to the downside. But if you look at it from an intraday time frame, it looked good, but it got above and then faded all the way back almost to this low. So we just have to see what happens from there. I was also looking at HP, not HP, Hewlett Packard. Hewlett Packard is HPQ. I was looking at this one, but it didn't trigger me. I was also looking at Aetna. Aetna didn't trigger, but this still could be flagging for some more upside. I was looking at Now. That one, I'm glad I didn't get traded, because these are the ones that really suck, is when it gets triggered and then it just stops you out the same day. But you can see from pretty much the price action that it went, and it never even broke the high of that opening candle. So we'll see how that goes from there. But this would not be a trade I'll be in. What else? Pandora. I was actually looking at Pandora as well to see if it could come and take out these highs, but we'll see. It didn't. But you can see that they might have, you know, pretty much gotten a lot of these guys out. So we just have to see if it's going to continue, or it's just taking a little bit of breather from this pretty significant run, and kind of just go from there. So you do have, from this point, about a 6% move to the upside. So maybe it's just taking some rest, and if it gets above this candle right here, it could be off to the races, because actually the weekly looks pretty good so far, so good. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm not going to continue too much longer with this, because again, my microphone, I've been, as you guys can tell, I was out of the country. I actually had a vacation, a true vacation, a vacation meaning no looking at the markets, no trading. That pretty much means that quite honestly, I'm surprised I could talk without a cocktail in my hand. So we'll see how this goes, and I'll be able to put out some more. And I'm actually going to put up the charts for all the names that I discussed today as well, so you can review them. So take care and trade them well, and be careful. Remember, you don't have to short. If you're not certain where you think the market's going to go, you can wait. I mean, trade the trend. The weekly, keep those things in mind. Weekly and monthly, keep those things in mind. Okay, and the daily, remember, the daily's looking pretty good as well. But you know, you don't have to say, you know, don't piss in the wind if you don't have to. Let's see if we can at least get a lower high before we start looking at the shorts. All right, take care.